Welcome, Rock and Metal Guardians. Today's topic of discussion is my Dream Rush concert, a set list of all the songs I would love to hear if Rush were still around. Yes, we know that they're not, but one can dream, right? And that's the point of this exercise. I've divided the Dream concert, into 4 suites, the 4th suite, of course, being the encore. So we'll get started. My vision is Suite 1 would open with the classic track from the first album, What You're Doing, followed by The Spirit of Radio. Why did I choose What You're Doing? It's because come out, hit you right over the head with something fierce and full of energy. So What You're Doing, The Spirit of Radio, and then my favorite song from the album counterparts, Double Agent. And then all of side 1 to A Farewell to Kings. Farewell to Kings, straight into Xanadu. No edits, no abridgments, front to front, right? Straight through. No deletions. Then going to the Grace Under Pressure album, Distant Early Warning. Then after that, my favorite song from Moving Pictures, Red Barchetta. And then my favorite song from Subdivisions, the title track Subdivisions. And then a song that is so dear to me is the song Earthshine from Vapor Trails. I like every song on Vapor Trails except for the very last track. I could put any song from that album on here except the last one and it would work really well, but Earthshine speaks to me the most emotionally, so that's the one I would love to hear the most live. Then Suite 2 would begin with Free Will. Then Test for Echo, the only song from that album, the title track. Then the opener from Moving Pictures, Tom Sawyer, gotta have that. And then Between the Wheels. And then after Between the Wheels, a song that I don't think they've played live and so long is by Torn the Snow Dog. And for my dream, it would be the way it's similar to the way it sounds on all the World's a Stage, where you have the extended version with the creepy, like Descent into Hell bow across the strings, kind of that Jimmy Page-esque thing that Alex does. That really gives you goosebumps and really gets you into the story of that little epic track that they do so well. And then after that, Fly By Night, sticking with that album for one more piece. Of course, notice that the songs are reversed. They're not in chronological order. Those 2 tracks from the album. And then after that, Dreamline from Rollerbones. Then Red Sector A, back to Grace Under Pressure. And then closing Suite 2 with Vital Signs. Definitely in my top 15 or top 20 of Rush songs of all time. The drumming on that song, the theme of nonconformity. There's just so many great things about that song in general that I need the song in my set list. For me personally, you can't take it out. Anyway, Suite 3, Circumstances. Far Cry from Snakes and Arrows. Then the same thing you get on Exit Stage Left. You get the Trees, but that classical guitar introduction called Brune's Bane, dedicated to, of course, Terry Brown. So that was his nickname. That was his nickname, Brune, is my understanding. So great way to open. I think the Trees is better with that opening. It just makes the piece work better. I love the Trees, the way it appears on Hemispheres, but when you combine it with that classical, it's just wonderful the way the acoustic segues into that. So gotta have that. Kind of spoiled from Exit Stage Left, right? I'm sure many of you are too. And then Armor and Sword would follow. And then my favorite song, and this would be the only song from their last album, Clockwork Angels, would be Headlong Flight. One of my top 15, 20 Rush songs of all time. It's just the bass in that song reminds me a lot of some of what's going on with Bastille Day and other sections of Caress of Steel. So it's a great song there. And then in its entirety, 2112. No, the abridged version. They took some sections out on All the World's a Stage, and then lately sometimes they would play it live when they were still around playing live, but then sometimes they would just play the Overture and Temples of Syrinx and then move on. And I get why, but for me, I got to have it in the whole set list. And then finishing up Suite 3 before we get to the encore with In the End. One of my favorite songs also, definitely in my top 20. And then finally, the encore. Most of these songs you would expect because they're encore staples. In addition to those, I've added another song that would begin the encore, and that would be a small section of the Caress of Steel album, a section of the Fountain of Lamnath, and that would be Bacchus Plateau. I just love that 3 minute and change song. Just a very melancholy and yet uplifting at the same time song. So anyway, and then going into Limelight, and then Working Man, although no reggae, just straight, traditional, beating you over the head, pounding it in your face, hard rock. The guitar solo is the full length you get on the album, right? And then ending it, of course, with my favorite instrumental Rush song of all time, maybe my favorite instrumental song altogether, La Via Strangiato, maybe even my favorite Rush song, not quite sure, maybe, but definitely favorite instrumental of theirs. So just combination of so many different things going on, the jazz elements, the guitar solo that comes in around the 3 minute mark. I've mentioned this before in a previous video, just so moving. Alex makes that guitar cry like no one else can, in my opinion. So that's how it end the concert. And La Via Strangiato for me has to open with the electric version, not the acoustic way it opens up on Hemisphere. I like that too. Hemispheres. I like that too, but I prefer the Exit Stage Left. Just heavy guitars introducing that get quick yet fast, flashy guitar solo, and then right into the number. So there you have it. Please post in the comment sections what you think of this list. Do you think some tracks on here are weak? Do you think there's too many songs from a certain album? That sort of thing. Notice some of you might have noticed, well, hey man, where's the drum solo? Hey, we can put a drum solo in there. I'm not adverse to doing that. Anyway, so dream set list are things I think about a lot, so hopefully you'll see more of these. Go ahead and click the like and subscribe button if you can. Thanks for watching.